Hi everyone. I'm going to take a walk around the front garden and see how things are looking. My mountain ash tree is coming out with lots of green leaves, looking pretty good. Now we'll pan over to the small garden by the front step. Couple of pots, flowers starting. And here we have my little tomato patch, hoping for great things to come. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but there's a cat staring out the window at me. Now we'll wander around this rather overgrown bush. Take a look at the garden in front of the front room window. My oriental poppy is starting to bud up nicely. The peonies are also budding. My roses are coming along nicely. Another nice peony coming along with nice buds. Columbines are starting to bloom. Looks like we're going to get a few irises. Not too many this year. My front garden needs a little weeding. Got some grass in it. Here's a beautiful white peony starting to bud out nicely in amongst the other roses. In the distance, you can see my little cherry bush starting to bloom. Now we'll swing around over my very dry lawn and move towards my plum tree. It had a few blossoms on it this year. I don't know whether they were fertilized or not. I'm hoping to get a few plums. Well, that's it for the front yard. We'll see you in the backyard. Now we're approaching the backyard. Here's my little truck, which is all loaded up with yard refuse, waiting to go over to the dump site when I get around to it. In the background you can see my new shed that I got last year after the hailstorm. Now we're heading into my backyard, which you can see needs some work. Got a very beautiful bush of lilacs that bloomed wonderfully this year. This is the third year I've had it. Lovely color, not too much smell though. I bought some beet sets which I'm trying to grow. Just planted them the other day. Hopefully they survive. Here we have a rose bush and another peony and some flowers that bloom in the spring early. Forgot what they're called. And I've got a patch of irises. They're blue and peach colored if I get any this year. The hollyhocks are coming along nicely. Now we'll make our way over to the garden. You can see I used my patio table as a potting table. As you can see, I have a constant fight with the dandelions. Here I have a few little irises that are starting to come out. We have a beautiful display of spurge polychroma that comes out with a glorious bunch of yellow, then fades to kind of a bronzy color. As you can see, I had to cut all my roses back because of winter kill. Our crabapple has a few blooms, but I think this is an off year. It seems to do better every second year. We have some more columbines coming along nicely here. I planted a row of pansies for a little color on the edge of the garden. The alliums are just starting to bloom. I've got a lot of work to do in the center of the garden because it's got infected with grass. Another big job. I keep the bird bath full. The birds really appreciate it in this dry year. Here's another early yellow flower that I've completely forgotten the name of. Very pretty in the early part of the year. My rhubarb is starting to grow quite nicely, and there's a lovely hosta in front of it. I have a little wren just flew up onto the fence. I think they're nesting in my birdhouse in what's left of my willow tree, which is badly affected by the drought as well. Another little rose bush that's in need of a little trim. I planted several new peonies, which you can see in amongst the dirt here. This is my wind thing that Norman gave me, I believe, for my birthday one year. It really gets bent over because of the fierce winds we get. You can see more roses along the back edge of the garden here. Most of them were here when we bought the place. I've got a lot of work to do along the back fence because the grass has eroded into it, but I'm working on it. I have a garden box here that I have planted carrots and radishes and sunflowers and a few potatoes in, hoping for the best. I've got a few blossoms on my Saskatoon bush, again pretty badly affected by lack of water. This is our gigantic sticky poplar tree, which will be raining down fluff pretty soon. You can see my little red wagon that I used to haul stuff around. Another tree which is not in too good a shape. It's a very old tree. Comes out in sort of little reddish flowers. Don't remember the name. Now we're going to take a look at the deck. In the front is a small tomato variety, very prolific when it gets going, and some of the other plants we've got along the edge of the deck. My strawberry plants, I'll have to cover it or the birds will eat them all. Well, let's go up onto the deck. This geranium in the foreground I'm proud of. I saved it over through the winter and it seems to be okay. I planted a lot of petunias this year. Always nice for color. Was able to find some lovely speckled petunias. Got some fuchsias starting up. More petunias. geranium coming along. Nice pink and white petunia. More fuchsias. Another speckled petunia. A few other things planted here. Geraniums. A couple of herbs. Trying to grow some cucumbers and grape tomatoes. There you get a view of the garden from the deck. Sounds like we've got a bird singing a song here. And this is looking back off the deck towards the shed. I still got another garden to plant next to the shed, but I haven't got to it yet. Our big old spruce tree took a heck of a beating in the storm that we got a couple of years ago, as did my old greenhouse, which got beat up pretty bad. Well, that's it for the garden so far. Just one last look at the back corner here, where our monstrous poplar tree is. It's going to get so big I may have to cut it down eventually, or at least trim it off. Well, thanks for watching. Hope this turns out okay. Talk to you later.